I'm going to call this meeting to order. I welcome you all who are here in the boardroom and those who are watching us via streaming. If you would join me for the flag salute first. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Liberty and justice for all.
That's a 5 second
That's
delay.
that 5 second
Bob
delay.
said something bad. Cut Bob off, he said something bad.
As you can see and hear, Commissioner Gordon is not with us today. He is on the phone and brought up the rear end of the Pledge of Allegiance.
That doesn't sound
Just
so
in
good.
case you know, just in case you didn't remember the last few words of the Pledge of Allegiance. So good morning, everyone. Public notice, Ada?
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. President. Adequate public notice has been given pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act. Notice has been posted at the board's office and website, emailed to the Department of State, and to newspapers of broad circulation within the state.
Roll call?
Commissioner Holden,
Here.
Commissioner Solomon,
Here.
Commissioner Chivukula,
Here.
Commissioner Gordon,
Here.
President Fiordaliso.
Here. Bob, can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can. Thank you very much.
Okay. There will be no executive session today. I know everyone's disappointed about that. So we're going to go right into our regular session.
Mr. President, may I announce the next board meeting?
Well, if you want to be a pain in the neck about it, yeah. When's the next regular meeting, Ada?
Our next regular board meeting will be live streamed via YouTube on Wednesday, March 9th, 2022 at 10 a.m.
Thank you, and thank you for reminding me. Do I have to remind you of anything else?
Yes, there's one more thing.
Do we have, yes, we do have another thing, don't we?
Consent agenda?
Yeah, that one.
Okay. On the following consent agenda items, 1A, 2A, 4A, 4B, 5A, 5B, 5C, 7A, 7B, and 9A.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Holden,
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon,
Yes.
Commissioner Chivukula,
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
President Fiordaliso.
Yes. Okay, anything else you have to remind me of? No,
No.
I'm all right. Okay. I'm really thrilled to highlight the BPU's Energy Efficiency Stimulus Grant for women and minority-owned business owners with less than 100 employees who are eligible to apply for these grants. Less than 100 employees, women, minority-owned, can apply for these grants. The Energy Efficiency Stimulus Grant Program was designed to give these businesses an opportunity to improve indoor air quality and to bring their HVAC, plumbing, and appliances to modern standards, which hopefully means the use of less energy. A number of webinars will be held in March, so check out our website and social media for more information. This is a great opportunity for small businesses to get some needed funds to enhance their energy efficiency efforts. So please, look on our website, stay up to date on this, and you may be able to save some money. We are going to sound again like a broken record regarding arrearages. March 15th is coming very quickly. That's the end of the winter moratorium. And at a certain point, post-March 15th, shut-off notices will be going out for water and for electric and gas companies, telecommunication companies. If you haven't applied for assistance and are in need of assistance, please call your energy company or your water company, and they will help to direct you. Or, if you do not need financial assistance, they will certainly help set up a payment plan for you if you are that much in arrearages. I don't want to be so direct, but this was not a free ride. This didn't mean that one didn't have to pay for their energy bill, or for their water bill, or for their telecommunications bill. It was to assist New Jerseyans to get over the hump of this pandemic. There was always going to be the day where you would have to pay. So please, if you think you qualify, if you don't know if you qualify, call up your utility company. Go on our website. Go on DCA's website. Find out if you qualify for assistance. And if you do, apply. Or set up a payment plan with your utility. We are here to help. And it's the same message I give at every board meeting we have. Because quite honestly, I can't figure out, if you do need assistance, as an example, why you're not applying for it. This might be the first time that you're in a situation where you need help, and I understand that. And you may be embarrassed to apply for that help, and I understand that too. But we want to help you. Your name is not going to be above the fold in the New York Times that you needed assistance. It's between you and the state of New Jersey. So please take advantage of it before March 15th, which is only 2 weeks away, a little over 2 weeks. We've been talking about this for over a year, and here we are. So please, call us here at the BPU. We have the greatest customer assistance service division in the state of New Jersey who are willing to help you. On a brighter note, as you know, it is Black History Month of February, and we have been highlighting some of the achievements of our African American colleagues and those over the years and the history of African Americans. America is supposed to be a land where the playing field is level, where everybody has an opportunity to achieve what we each think is the American dream. Unfortunately, over the history of the United States, that has not always been the case. We have to make it the case. We have to ensure the fact that all of us who call ourselves Americans have an opportunity to achieve that American dream. And we have to remember the contributions that are made and that have been made by every group that has come to this country. We're the greatest experiment in the history of humankind. A multiracial, cultural society that governs itself. Greatest experiment in humankind. And let us not be the generation that destroys that experiment. And let's not lay a foundation for future generations to destroy that experiment. We're Americans. We're in this together. No matter what we look like, who we are, what God we worship or don't worship, what gender we are. The women's soccer team finally settled their lawsuit as far as equal pay in getting some parity with the men's soccer team. And the women's soccer team has won 4 straight world titles. I don't know the last time the men's did. And I'm not criticizing the men's. I'm criticizing the fact that there's not equity in their pay. Fairness. And I think that's all any of us are looking for. Because that's what makes America great. And every group that has come here, whether by choice or by force, has contributed to the greatness of this country. Let us never forget that. Do any of my other colleagues have anything they would like to say? Sir?
No. Thank you, Mr. President. I recognize this Black History Month, February, and you had sent out a nice email about the accomplishments of Black members of the society who have contributed tremendously to all fields. One thing I just want to bring it up is from February 20th to 26th is Engineers Week. And we have several engineers in BPU and other state agencies, and we are celebrating the Engineers Week Zoom tomorrow, which is 24th, and the details are available. Also tomorrow is also recognized as Discover a Girl Day. I guess, we're trying to introduce a girl to engineering, because when you look at the engineering profession, it's lopsided. It's the gender gap. There are fewer female engineers than male engineers. So I think introducing young girls at an early age towards engineering, and it will be a great thing, so we can produce more women engineers. I think I just want to share that. Thank you.
Thank you. Mariana?
Just wanted to note one of our own, in Madison, New Jersey, the passing of Don Newcomb. Nuke started in the Negro Leagues in Newark, and became one of the first to break the color barrier, going to the Brooklyn Dodgers and eventually LA, and I think he played with the Reds and maybe the Indians. But he was a great one, and he's still remembered in Madison as just a really nice, wonderful, humble man. So in recognition of Black History Month, I wanted to note Don Newcomb's passing.
Well, thank you. And I have a fond memory of Don Newcomb, and I'm so happy you brought that up. I'm so old that I remember the 1956 World Series between the New York Yankees and the Brooklyn Dodgers, now the Los Angeles Dodgers. The 7th game of that series, Don Newcomb was the pitcher for the Brooklyn Dodgers. And for the Yankees was a pitcher by the name of Johnny Cokes. Some of you may not remember that name, or even know what the hell I'm talking about. But I was so distraught that a second-rate pitcher like Johnny Cokes was going up against Don Newcomb in the 7th game of the 1956 World Series. Well, the Yankees won that game. Not only did they win the game, they won it decisively. And Johnny Cokes pitched a shutout, so you never know who's going to rise up to the occasion on any given day in any given sport. And so Don Newcomb did not finish the game, obviously. The Yankees won 9-0 in that game. And as a Yankee fan, of course, I was thrilled. But I never thought that the Yankees would beat Don Newcomb. Plus the fact Don Newcomb was one of the best hitting pitchers in baseball history. As a matter of fact, they would use him, the Dodgers would, as a pinch hitter in games. He was an all-around athlete. And until Mariana told me, I didn't realize he was from Madison, New Jersey. We have so many celebrities and sports figures from New Jersey that we could sit here the whole morning and just recite names and so on. All we hear about really is where Michael comes from, Sinatra and so on, but there's so many New Jerseyans we can all be proud of and so on. So that's my Don Newcomb story. Anyone else? Okay, let's begin our regular agenda. We did the consent agenda already, correct? There are no items under audits. Paul, we have some energy items.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning, Paul.
I think we can pick up Cook and Rivers.
Item 2A, Elizabethtown's cow. On July 21st, 2021, Elizabethtown Gas Company filed a petition seeking approval to modify its rates relating to the review and true-up of its weather normalization clause rate, New Jersey Clean Energy Program component of its societal benefits charge rate, and its on-system margin sharing credit rate. By order dated September 14th, 2021, the board approved a provisional stipulation executed by the parties for rates effective October 1st, 2021. As a result of that stipulation, a typical residential heating customer using 100 therms a month would experience an increase of $1.66 to their monthly bill. The parties have now completed their review and executed a stipulation for final rates. As a result of the final rates stipulation, there is no additional impact on customers' bills. Staff recommends that the board issue an order approving the stipulation and direct Elizabethtown to file tariffs consistent with the board's order by February 28, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments for Paul? Roll call.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden,
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon,
Yes.
Commissioner Chivukula,
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
President Berluso.
Yes. 2B, AMI, Jersey Central Power and Light. Oh,
This matter relates to an August 2020 petition filed by JCP&L. JCP&L is seeking approval of an AMI rollout program, including an associated cost recovery mechanism. The company proposed to roll out AMI meters and infrastructure throughout its service territory over a 6-year period. Following extensive discovery and settlement discussions, several parties have executed a stipulation resolving this matter. As part of the settlement, JCP&L will invest in the accelerated deployment of AMI and defer the cost as a regulatory asset, which will be reviewed in subsequent base rate cases. Customers who choose to retain their existing meter will be subject to a $15 per month meter reading fee. Additionally, there will be a one-time $44.46 fee for the removal of an AMI meter and the reinstallation of a conventional meter. JCP&L will provide testimony and actual cost information for these fees in the next base rate case, at which time the fees will be subject to review and modification. Utilidata submitted a letter to the board taking no position on the stipulation. Staff recommends that the board issue an order approving the stipulation and direct JCP&L to file tariffs consistent with the board's order by December 31st, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
questions, comments?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. President?
Yeah, just 1 minute, Bob.
Okay.
Go on.
This, the cost is $433 million. Does that include the, I guess, or the retail, the meters that are old meters that they are retiring those meters? Does that include that?
No,
That's
that
$123 million, right?
Correct. That's outside of the $430 million.
126, yeah, okay.
Yeah, those are the stranded costs of the meters, and that'll be reviewed in a subsequent base rate case.
Also, the opt-out fees, how does it compare with other utilities, opt-out fees? Is it a little higher?
It's comparable with the state. RICO and ACE has 15, and PSE&G has a $12 fee.
Okay, this higher.
So it's in line. No, this is the same as ACE and JCP and RICO.
It says $28 on that tax.
No, it's 15.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bob?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I remind the board that I was the hearing officer on this matter, and I think this is a very significant development. And the settlement that was achieved, I don't believe would have occurred as easily as it did without the contribution of several BPU staff members whom I would like to publicly commend for their efforts today. And those include Paul Lupo, Heather Weissband, David Brown, Ryan Moran, and Dean Tackliff. They made a great effort, made what could have been a more protracted process, shorter and more efficient. And I want to thank them for their efforts. They made a great contribution here. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob. Any other comments, questions? Roll call.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden,
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon,
Yes.
Commissioner Chivukula,
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
President Fiordaliso.
Yes. E-Town and energy efficiency, next one.
On July 30th, 2021, Elizabethtown Gas Company filed a petition requesting authorization to modify its energy efficiency program rate. The petition sought to reconcile program costs and recoveries for the period July 1, 2020 through June 30th, 2021, and to recover forecasted revenues for July 1, 2021 through June 30th, 2022, and proposed an annual revenue requirement of approximately $1.2 million. Following a review of the petition and discovery, the parties executed a stipulation that would allow Elizabethtown to implement a revised EEP rate consistent with the petition. As a result of the stipulation, a typical residential heating customer will see a decrease of 35 cents in their monthly bill. Staff recommends that the board adopt the stipulation and direct Elizabethtown to file tariffs consistent with the board's order by February 28, 2022.
So moved. Second.
Questions, comments? Roll call.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holton,
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon,
Yes.
Commissioner Chivukula,
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
President Fiordaliso.
Yes. And that brings us to the final item, Atlantic City Electric.
Thank you. On July 9, 2021, Atlantic City Electric Company filed a petition seeking approval to adjust the level of the rider Reggie charge associated with its SREC 1 financing program, SREC 2 program, and its TREC program. In the petition, ACE sought to recover approximately $1.48 million for its SREC 1 financing cost, a decrease over the current level of collections, maintain the rider Reggie rate at 0 associated with the recovery of SREC 2 program's direct costs, maintain the $17.07 administrative fee charged to SREC 2 program participants, and recover approximately $7.73 million for its TREC program costs, which is an increase over the current level of collections. By order dated December 15, 2021, the board approved the continuation of the SREC 2 administrative fee at the board's previously approved rate of $17.07 for calendar year 2022. Following a review of the petition and discovery, the parties executed a stipulation that would allow ACE to implement revised rider Reggie SREC 1 financing program and TREC program rates, maintain the rider Reggie SREC 2 rate, and maintain the SREC 2 administrative fee at $17.07 for the remainder of calendar year 2022. As a result of the stipulation, an average residential customer using approximately 680 kilowatt hours per month would experience an increase of 22 cents to their monthly bill. Staff recommends that the board issue an order approving the stipulation and direct ACE to file tariffs consistent with the board's order by February 28, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments? Roll call.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holton,
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon,
Yes.
Commissioner Chivukula,
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
President Fiordaliso.
Yes. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
There are no items under cable television or telecommunications for consideration. That brings us to water, and Michael, the first one is New Jersey American.
Yes. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning, Michael.
Item 5A is New Jersey American Water Company's petition for a recovery of lead service line costs. On January 14, 2022, New Jersey American Water Company filed a petition seeking approval of a cost recovery plan for the replacement of company-owned and customer-side-owned lead service lines. New Jersey American also requested expedited treatment for this matter. Staff recommends that the board retain this matter and designate a commissioner to preside over the matter. Commissioner Holden has agreed to be the presiding commissioner. Staff further recommends that the board set a bar date of March 25th, 2022 for the filing of motions to intervene and or participate and for admission pro hoc vice.
So moved.
Second. Thanks.
Questions, comments?
Just have a question, thank you, Mr. President. It touches 29 legislative districts, it's pretty
Yes,
large.
New Jersey American is in 19.
Oh, because it's not because of water,
Yeah.
because it's American water.
Yeah, New Jersey American is in 19 counties. They're big.
Okay, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The only county that they're not in that I could think of is Hudson, but I'm missing something. But Sussex too. They're in 19 counties. They're big.
What about Middlesex?
They are in parts of Middlesex. They're in the Plainsboro area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is a test.
Yes.
You can't stump the star.
And it's not even multiple choice. I mean, yeah. Any other questions, comments? Roll call.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden,
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon,
Yes.
Commissioner Chivukula,
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
President Fiordaliso.
Yes. All right, that brings us to item B, Michael, Gordon's Corner Water Company, not related to our Bob Gordon.
Yes.
Is that right, Bob?
I wish I could use a little extra on the side.
Do an ancestry.
On July 9th, 2021, Gordon's Corner Water Company filed a petition seeking a rate increase of approximately $1.7 million or 14.10%. The board transmitted this matter to the Office of Administrative Law for hearings, and the matter was assigned to Administrative Law Judge Tricia Caliguire. After proper notice, ALJ Caliguire conducted 2 public hearings that were held virtually because of the ongoing pandemic. No members of the public appeared at either hearings. Subsequent to the public hearings and after exchanging discovery, Gordon's Corner, the Division of Rate Counsel, and board staff entered into a stipulation of settlement that agrees to an overall rate increase of $1.4 million, which represents approximately 11.44% increase in present revenues. As a result of the stipulation, the average bill for a typical customer with a 5/8 inch meter using 7,000 gallons of water per month will go from $56.15 to $62.90, an increase of $6.75 per month or 12%. ALJ Caliguire issued an initial decision recommending that the board adopt the stipulation, and staff recommends that the board adopt the initial decision.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments for Mike? Roll call.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden,
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon,
Yes.
Commissioner Chivukula,
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
President Fiordaliso.
Yes. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Commissioner.
There are no items under reliability and security for consideration. So that brings us to customer assistance. Rich, you're going to do the first one, I see.
Yes, good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
By letter dated October 11th, 2021, South Jersey Gas filed a petition to close its Pleasantville Service Center located at 111 North Franklin Boulevard, Pleasantville. The company has complied with NJAC 14.3.5.1C and E, including mailing copies of the petition to the clerk of the affected municipality, as well as Rate Counsel. South Jersey Gas stated that due to changes in customer interaction as a result of COVID-19, the office has remained closed for in-person customer transactions. South Jersey Gas also stated that foot traffic over the past few years has been steadily declining. There will only be slight impact to customers because in addition to declining number of transactions at the location, customers desiring in-person service can utilize the company's nearby Atlantic City headquarters. The Atlantic City office is approximately 5 miles away and provides increased access to public transportation. The company further stated that the closure applies only to the in-person services and will not impact other operations that currently exist at this location. The company will also continue to maintain a drop box at the location. On January 11, 2022, Rate Counsel submitted a letter concerning this matter and noted that it neither supported nor opposed South Jersey Gas's request to close the office. Rate Counsel noted that it reserves the right to review the prudency, recoverability, and rate impact of any cost incurred. The board has not received any complaints with regards to the closure. Therefore, staff recommends that the board grant South Jersey Gas's request to close the Pleasantville office, subject to the conditions set forth in the board's order.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments? Roll call.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden,
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon,
Yes.
Commissioner Chivukula,
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
President Fiordaliso.
Yes. Thank you, Rich.
Thank you.
Julie, you're doing the next one, and it involves United Telephone Company and CenturyLink.
Yes, good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
By letter dated July 3rd, CenturyLink notified the board that in light of the COVID-19 pandemic, it had ceased to operate its Clinton office and was seeking to change the manner in which it accepts payments as it had transitioned the Clinton office to a virtual customer service platform. CenturyLink also stated that over the previous 12 months, it generally received on average three visits per day to the Clinton office. The Clinton office consisted of a dedicated customer service kiosk with a telephone that customers visiting the office used to speak directly with CenturyLink customer service and repair representatives during normal business hours. CenturyLink intends to stop taking bill payments at its Clinton office and will allow payments to be made without a fee at any Western Union payment kiosk located within the state of New Jersey. Currently, when customers make a payment at a third-party payment center, they are charged a fee. In addition, for those customers wishing to return equipment, CenturyLink will provide prepaid packaging for such returns. A copy of the letter was provided to the Division of Rate Counsel, and on November 19, 2020, Rate Counsel submitted a letter advising that it did not oppose CenturyLink's moving to a virtual model, but noted that it would present obstacles for technologically challenged individuals. Rate Counsel also noted the lack of in-person payment opportunities required the imposition of service fees charged by the third-party providers entrusted to collect the bill payments. Rate Counsel advised that the board monitor the transition to the virtual platform by requiring quarterly reports of the performance. Staff notes that Rate Counsel's comments regarding fees is no longer valid because the CenturyLink will not be charging any fees anywhere anybody pays through Western Union throughout the whole state. Also, the board did receive a complaint that customers were concerned about the replacement of a live customer service person at the office with the telephone. That had been done prior to this filing. In light of CenturyLink's request, Rate Council's comments, staff discovery, and subsequent meetings and discussions with petitioner, staff recommends that the board grant CenturyLink's request and authorize the transition of its Clinton office to a virtual service platform subject to the following conditions. In lieu of maintaining a fully functioning customer service office as required by the rules, CenturyLink will allow payments to be made without a fee to the customer at any Western Union payment kiosk located within the state of New Jersey. Signage must be placed to indicate that payments may be made at any Western Union authorized payment center in the state of New Jersey. Payments would be deemed paid by the due date if deposited by the date due. Second, CenturyLink will provide customers who wish to return service equipment with a prepaid mailer box to facilitate the return of such equipment. Lastly, CenturyLink will be required to provide a quarterly report to the Division of Customer Assistance with data on monthly Western Union payments and any complaints they receive.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments for Julie?
Comment.
Yes.
Yeah. Between the Atlantic City Electric, closing an office, and then this matter, and just generally speaking, I think we're going to continue to see a change in how customer service is provided throughout this industry, post-pandemic, and just in the new technical virtual world in which we live. And, I know when we were down at NARUC and, through some other organizations that reach out to us in terms of customer access and response and keeping us abreast of what's happening in that area, we, should try to make sure that, and as I know that you do, are up to date on the best policies to move into this new type of service area. So just wanted to highlight that.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Roll call.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden,
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon,
Yes.
Commissioner Chivukula,
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
President Fiorito.
Yes. Thank you, Julie.
You're welcome.
Brings us to clean energy. Mr. Hunter. 8A.
Hello, Commissioners.
Good morning, Scott.
This item relates to a request from Centrica Business Solutions for an extension of time to complete its Group SEB solar project in the Transition Incentive Program, or TI program. On November 1st, 2021, Centrica submitted a petition requesting a one-year extension of the expiration date in the TI program for its commercial solar electric generation facility proposed to be located at Group SEB in Millville, New Jersey. According to the petition, the solar developer first submitted a Level 2 interconnection application to Atlantic City Electric in August 2020. On August 27, 2021, Centrica filed a TI registration for a 1,500 kilowatt DC non-residential rooftop net metered solar electric generation facility. The program administrator issued an acceptance letter on September 20th, 2021. Petitioner asked that the expiration date of September 20th, 2022 be extended to September 20th, 2023. Petitioner states that despite repeated requests from October 20th, 2022 through October 5th, 2021 for the invoice for ACE's estimate of the interconnection costs, an invoice was not received until October 19th, 2021. During this time, the developer and ACE were negotiating interconnection costs, and with each of the 4 cost estimates provided, ACE advised the estimated time to complete this work is 12 to 18 months after receipt of a fully executed interconnection agreement, after interconnection work is invoiced, and after payment is received. Staff notes that the Transition Incentive Program was intended as an interim measure until a successor program was available. No opportunities for extension of project deadlines were provided in the TI program design. In addition, the TI incentive levels were based upon solar costs in the SREC program from as early as 2018, whereas petitioner seeks an extension until late 2023. The board closed the TI program on August 27th after an extensive stakeholder process and an order providing 30 days notice. The successor incentive program The successor solar incentive program's administratively determined incentive program opened on August 28th. The ADI program provides projects with 1 year to complete program requirements and includes an opportunity for a 6-month extension. Based upon the review of the petition, staff recommends that the board take the following 3 actions. Find that the petitioner has not provided grounds for waiving its rules granting an extension. Deny the petition and encourage the petitioner to pursue an incentive through the ADI program when it is confident that the project can be completed within 1 year of registration.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments for Scott?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. Scott, one question I have is that do you anticipate more of this type of petitions coming in the future because of the transition?
We have a record number of projects in the Transition Incentive Program pipeline, so it stands.
Is there any optimal way of dealing with that? I mean, I'm sure you are an expert in this. Is there any way to preempt some of this? Because they spend the time with petition and then probably they know or they may not know that it's going to be denied or whatever it is. And is there any way to communicate so that way we can minimize?
That's a good question. This is the third petition that we received for an extension that the board has denied. We have 3 or 4 in-house, but staff will take that back and consider some means to address.
I have a comment as well. I would presume that with each petition, and they seem to have been, differently crafted, shall we say. In each instance will also tend to help streamline once the petitioners or those that are out there that may petition, see how what the board's thinking on the subject based upon those petitions that are filed. Do you think that will help alleviate also some of the traffic?
It could.
Any other questions or comments for Scott? Roll call, Ada.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden,
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon,
Yes.
Commissioner Chivukula,
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
President Fiordaliso.
Yes. Thank you, Scott. Veronique, you're up.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
This item pertains to petition of Ocean Wind LLC filed on February 2nd, 2022, pursuant to NJSA 48:3-87.1F. As you know, the 1100 megawatt Ocean Wind project was the first New Jersey offshore wind project the board designated as a qualified offshore wind project through its June 2019 order. Since this award, Ocean Wind has been working on planning and pre-construction activities, which include obtaining permits, easements, and consents necessary for the construction of the electricity export cables that run from the project's offshore wind turbines, the source of electricity generation, to the onshore electric grid in New Jersey for this electricity distribution and usage. On February 2, 2022, Ocean Wind filed a petition with the board pursuant to NJSA 48:3-87.1F, legislation that was signed into law last summer. The petition seeks the board's determination that certain easements across Green Acres restricted onshore properties owned by Ocean City, as well as certain municipal consents needed for particular environmental permits in or with respect to Ocean City, are reasonably necessary for the project's construction or operation. The statute provides the board with the authority to make a determination on such a petition. Staff recommends that the board retain the petition for hearing and designate a presiding commissioner. Staff further recommends that the board direct any entity seeking to intervene or participate in this matter to file the appropriate application with the board on or before March 9, 2022.
The presiding commissioner will be me.
So moved. Second.
Questions, comments?
Thank you, Mr. President. I think it's this is a new precedent. We are getting into areas where the board has not been there before, but it's a requirement of the statute. I think that's why we're doing this. Thank you.
You almost sounded like a Star Trek commercial. Where we haven't gone before.
That's true.
It is. Any other comments or questions for Veronique? As some of you may know, Veronique just celebrated a birthday, so happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Mr. President. It was a big one, too.
It was?
Yeah.
Not as big as mine.
Alrighty, let's up here.
Roll call.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden,
Yes.
Commissioner Solomon,
Yes.
Commissioner Chivukula,
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
President Fiordaliso.
Yes. Thank you, Bernie. There are no items under miscellaneous, which means there are no other items for consideration. And if there are no other items, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Mr. President?
Yes,
Mr. President?
yes,
I need to make a comment, please.
sure.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. The events of the last week in Europe, I think we would all agree represent the greatest risk for a superpower confrontation since 1962, if not 1945. And as I've seen these events, as I've watched these events unfold over the last few days, I've been reminded of something I heard at a NARUC meeting on cyber warfare. And I can recall one of the panelists, an Assistant Secretary of Defense, turn to the audience of utility regulators and say that in the next superpower confrontation, utility regulators and utilities are going to be at ground zero. And I've thought about that comment in recent days, and I would just, I think I speak for all of us on the board when I tell our utilities that now is the time to be most vigilant, and that the Board of Public Utilities stands ready to support you in any way we can, in any way we need to, in the days ahead. And that's all I want to say. Thank you, Mr. President.
You're certainly welcome, and just as a follow-up to that, Bob, our utilities are on alert, as is our country. I was just notified that there was a massive cyber attack in the Ukraine on government facilities, and we can expect that. I would think that cyber attacks will be certainly one of the primary weapons used, and and so on. So we are on alert. Our Office of Emergency Management and Cyber Security are on alert, and it's certainly an uneasy situation, to say the least, and one, frankly, that is, as you look at the facts, uncalled for. But we may not be dealing with stable people, and so we have to take each step at a time and ensure the fact that our sovereignty and the sovereignty of our allies are protected, and that is vitally important. I do not agree that Mr. Putin is a genius, as some have called him. I think he is a man who wants to resurrect the old Soviet Union. That's what I think he is. So, yes.
Yeah, I just also wanted to speak to the cybersecurity issues. That was the main focus, not only for a general session, but also for the committee that I chair for NARIC, which is the Critical Infrastructure Committee. And as you mentioned, all our utilities are on a high alert. And we actually got a briefing from National Security Council while we were down there for commissioners that were interested in participating in that. But there's no question that there's a lot of work to be done to bring our systems up to where they need to be. I think that's something that has been a forward-looking task of this board in the area of cybersecurity, and one that we're going to continue to have to tackle. Let's not forget that the pipeline incident that we had last year was primarily caused by somebody clicking on a link that they should not have. So we need to up our game also. And that was something I communicated in my discussions to, we all get our training at our places of employment, certainly here at the board, but, throughout this country in terms of cyber security. But we need to raise that awareness to something that you do every day. And it's not a joking matter, please, we have to come up with something that, like we have 811 before you dig, we're going to have to do something same before you click. And I can't begin to tell you how vitally important that type of training and, awareness is to this country in light of the events going on in the Ukraine. And I also should not go without being noticed that a lot of the issues that are resulting in Ukraine are energy related. Something that we deal with here on a regular basis. So the policies that come out of our this board and our country and the FERC and the like are vitally important to these global and security issues that we're facing today.
Thank you, Commissioner. Important words. Any other comments? May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you all very, very much. Ryan, would you see me before you leave?